Good morning. I'm getting used to the look of this. This is my first YouTube live. So, welcome to the Death Binder lesson number one. This is my backyard. I thought you might enjoy my neighbor's horses. And we have Pedro. And we're going to see how this goes. All right. I'm adjusting to the look of this. All right. So this will be live, but then it will be available for later as well. So some of you might be joining me at a different time, and so welcome to you as well. Um, the weekly structure that we're going to have for these lessons is going to be three parts. So every week we're going to have a lesson that contains a learn section and a lesson and it contains a do section, and then it contains a treat section. Because honestly, you learning and doing is you taking your time to do something for other people. And I want to offer you as well a treat section, a little thing just for you to say good job for doing this, a little treat each week. Okay, so today's learn section is going to be about me, about the process, about the stumbling blocks of making the death binder, and then also um, the first part of the death binder that you're going to fill in. So about me, I wonder what makes me qualified to do this. And I am not an estate planning attorney. I certainly not a lawyer of any kind. So I wondered what makes me qualified to do this. And I've been thinking about doing this for quite some time. And my husband said, well, it's because you have one. So I thought about that. And most people don't have one. And that's true. So why do I have a death binder? And the reason is because um, 10 to 12 years ago, around then, my dad asked me to take over his family's paperwork, finances, that sort of thing. And so I agreed. And my dad is a man of few words. But every now and then would be like having a campfire roasting hot dogs, and he'd say, the combination to the safe is, or would be husking corn, and he would tell me that he had this life insurance policy. And it occurred to me that I needed to write things down and get things organized. So I started making a binder for him and for my mom, for their family. And, throughout the time that and still currently am managing it for my mom, but throughout my dad's life, I consulted the binder all the time. And, um, when he passed, I was able to take care of so many details without effort of finding things. Like, I already had everything. And so I knew that the binder was good. And in the meantime, I it occurred to me that I should make one for my husband because in my family, this may come as a great surprise to you, but I am the one who tends to do the paperwork, the bills, all that sort of stuff, mostly just because I enjoy it. And my husband, he's highly capable, but I started thinking, like, if something happens to me, even though he's highly capable, it would be a pain for him to figure out exactly what to do. I shouldn't make it be a pain. I should just have it written down so he could more easily take on the roles that would need to be taken on. And so I made one for my family, and then I made one for each of our kids because I figure if I get their binder started and they see what it looks like, that they would, um, grow up knowing to just when the car insurance paperwork comes in, just stick it in the binder. And so I started one for my kids, and then I just wanted to help other people make this binder. I had this desire to help people get things organized, and I've gone through several iterations of different things through the years. And so that's how we landed on doing this. Um, so mostly my qualifications, I think, are that I have done one and it's really worked well for me. I don't know why I have this obsession with helping people make death binders, but I do. So I'm glad to be offering this to you. I hope that it's helpful. My goal with this series is to provide a training that touches a wide audience. So, so I want it to be applicable to everybody, but also be easily tailorable. And so, what that means is some things that we talk about some weeks won't apply to you. And that's okay. Um, and some things might apply, but you just don't want to deal with it. That's okay as well. Um, you might, when we get going, have parts that you think you need to add to the binder that don't apply to other people. And certainly, as we go through this, if you think I've forgotten something, definitely tell me because I would want to know that and adjust the way that I do this. So tactically, what I would like you to do is in the comments and in the description of the introductory video is a PDF, which is a death binder skeleton. And so you can print it out. You go to the introductory video, to the description or the comments, and get the skeleton and print it out and get yourself a binder. So, like, here is my binder. So, you get yourself a binder, and it's very much like one thing per page. So, like, this is banking information. And so I just have plastic sheets. Don't go cheap on the plastic sheets. If you get the cheap ones, you're going to really hate this process. They're horrible. But decide how you want your binder to look. I just have plastic sheets, and then each page of the PDF I put in one. And so then you can just fill it in as we go along. So that's probably the easiest structure for the binder. So you'll want to get a binder and print out the paper and get those sheets. You'll also probably want to get some sort of firebox or safe. Decide how you want to keep this. Certain documents need to be kept in a really safe place. So, like for us, I keep a lot of our really important documents in a firebox, and I have copies in the death binder, and I keep the death binder in a place that everyone in our house knows about. You might want to keep the death binder in a safe. That's totally up to you, but that's something that tactically you should decide. Okay, so the biggest stumbling block for this for you is going to be perfectionistic thinking. Thinking that you need to do it all right. I promise you, if you plug through this for the 8 weeks and you get it done to the 75% level, you will feel very accomplished. 75% is great for your first attempt at the death binder. So if there's a part that you just hate, do not let that keep you from doing it. Uh, Keep going through the parts, making progress. And at the end of 8 weeks, you will at least have more than what you have now. And you'll probably have a lot more than what you have now. So do not be a perfectionist. Sometimes people are like, I'm a perfectionist. And I think that's like an excuse to like not have to do stuff. Okay. So throw that away. Just do your best week to week. All right. So this week, I'm going to show the death binder again. The first page of the PDF is a table of contents, and there's several sections. So every week, we're going to work through one or two sections. The first section is identification, and that's this week. This week, we're starting out nice and easy and slow. The identification section In my parents' binder, I refer to this all the time, and I refer to it for us too in strange situations where it pops up. But social security cards, birth certificates, marriage certificates, passports. My suggestion is to get copies of those and put them in the death binder. So, like, here's copies of our passports on the passport page. And then the actual one, I have a little F for firebox. The actual document I put in our firebox. So that's how I structure those documents. But you can do that. Some of you might have to track down your marriage certificate. All right, that might be a project for this week. But getting those things into your death binder, as well as driver's licenses, copy the driver's license, stick copies in the death binder on the appropriate page. Of course, the original will be in your wallet. And then in here, I have diplomas because I didn't know where else to put it. We're not like diploma display people. I never know what to do with them, so I just put them in here. Maybe your diplomas are on the wall, if whatever. Like that one is not so important to me. The other ones are definitely more important. And so that's a pretty simple part of the death binder this week. Okay, so that's our learn section of the class. Remember, I said every week we're going to have a learn part, a do part, and a treat part. So now what I want to do is do. Do is your homework. I've already brought it up, but I want to make it more explicit. And please don't think worse of me. I figured out my error in what's going to come next about 5 minutes before this began. You see, I really like to be low tech. A lot of times during the week with my job, I'm making beautiful PowerPoints and things, and I just wanted to be low tech. So I thought for the do section, for the homework, I will just write it on a piece of paper. I see my error. Okay. Clearly, for your homework, number 1, prepare your binder. I think I'll improve for next week. That's your first part of your homework. Get the binder ready. Buy it, print out the sheets, get it in the binder. Homework number 2, get your firebox or whatever you're going to do to put really important documents. Number 3, fill in the identification section. So that first section of the table of contents, that's your homework for this week. That's the third part of your homework is to do that. Okay. Now, if you need to contact me, I am happy to answer questions. Continuing with the embarrassment. So here's my email address, which is clearly deathbinder23@gmail.com. Deathbinder23, 23 for the year that I started this formal project, at gmail.com. You can send me questions there, and I will try to answer them really promptly. Okay, so that's our do. Now for the treat. So every week I'll give you a way to treat yourself, um, to say thank you to yourself for doing this project for other people. So here's my treat for this week. I am sure that in your life there is something small that you encounter every day that is like a $20 fix. Like if you would just take the time and spend 20 bucks and do this thing, your life would be so much smoother. So it's like a $20 challenge, maybe $40 challenge. I don't care. So, for example, for me, I love to listen to podcasts in my car. Now, my car does not connect to Bluetooth, or maybe it does. I don't know. I don't care. I have a cord that I hook from my phone to my car and it plays. Um, and it plays, except that cord had frayed. And so it hardly ever played. And so I'm making all these long drives and I don't have my music or my podcast through my speakers and it's really annoying. I can't hear anything. Um, Going to replace that cord is a $12 fix. I'm going to do that. In fact, because I'm teaching this class, which is outside of my comfort zone, I'm actually gonna do 2 of these treats for myself. So the second treat that I'm gonna do for Christmas, I bought my kids an Apple ID tag for their keys, and I know that each of them have used it, and I have spent way too many minutes of my life looking for keys. That's silly. I need to buy myself an Apple AirTag. That'll make my life just feel better. So I get 2 treats. Maybe you can make up a reason why you get 2 treats too. Don't skip this part, all right? You went through the learn, do the homework, and then do the treat. And meet me back here next week, Saturday at 9 a.m., and we'll do lesson number 2. Have a great week. Bye bye.